of the articles I read that the endgame for our politicians is the implementation of a new world with no borders, acultural and anchorless, subject to the whims of increasingly detached and self-righteous, self-appointed revolutionaries. When did you realise this? When did you start sensing this in the water?
Well, it's an interesting one because it kind of happened a while back. I went to the Olympic Games and I represented the Great British Olympic team. And eventually, over the 2010s, it became Team GB. And I went, what is Team GB? What is this thing called GB? Well, it's Great Britain. Why are we moving away from calling ourselves the Great British Olympic team? That's a straw in the wind, for instance, but it's very obvious. It felt to me that we were trying to hide away who we were, or we're trying to make the name Great Britain, we're trying to move away from it. We're trying to be more modern, as it were. But I've been involved in in politics for a long, long time. And it seemed to me that there were lots of things that were happening that never really were there or that were never implemented to help the common man in our country. They were there because they were trying to follow an abstraction. So our politicians seem to be, and not just our politicians, also our bureaucrats and a lot of people in the corporate sector, seem attracted to abstract ideas and theories that they feel might be plausible, and they're very keen on imposing them on a very complex reality. And the people who are at the core of the resistance of the applications of these theories are the people of Britain, who keep saying, actually, we don't want to be experimented on. We want to live our lives as they have been and as we have for centuries. We don't want the change that you want to force on us. And so as time went on, I realized that the elites of our country seem intent on imposing something on us that we never demanded. And we become the problem because we refuse to accept the tenets of their theories.
It absolutely feels to me like an existential crisis. It feels that we're being led by people, and I count the opposition as being the same or worse, who don't believe in the continued existence of the Britain we have known. It's as though that which we have known and that which most of us still love and care about, that's all being set aside in pursuit of, as you say, an abstraction. And at what point do elected officials and the rest decide that they don't represent us, but that they know better?
I think that's the really obvious conclusion to come to. And I've been listening to what you've been saying for a long time. And, what's really heartwarming is that there is a place where people like us can exchange ideas and make sure that regardless of our political backgrounds, we can come to the conclusion that we're led by an elite that is essentially, as I call them, anti-human. And there is a broad mass of people who represent the human side, and the human side operates in the world of emotions, of relations, of communities, of culture, of language, of inherited rights, and you have an anti-human, very small group of very powerful people who feel that this complexity is somehow old-fashioned and it needs to be rationalized. And these people find their roots in the French Revolution, they find their roots in Marxism, they find their roots in National Socialism. Essentially, these are people who want to impose their worldview on the reluctant people. And the problem is that these people who used to be, banging the drums or ringing the bells perhaps 50 years ago, saying that the end of the world is nigh, we used to laugh at them. But these people are now in positions of power, and they're intent on making sure that they use their view of the world to change our world. And we somehow have to come together and realize that these people are serious. They're religious kind of people. They are not people who can be reasoned with, because they believe that you and I are wrong, and they are absolutely convinced that their view of the world is the right one and that they know what the future holds.